Things have really changed over the 16 years of Minecraft. With each update, new things get added, but some things are removed or made harder. This is what happened with the new Copper Age update, so I will show you what you should do before updating your world. Now, if your world is in a version older than 1.21.8, make sure to collect the rare and discontinued things from the prior versions, which I covered in their individual videos linked in the description. Hello there, Ray here, and for the first one you want to find a dolphin that is in the ocean. Then grab it with a lead and take it back to your base. Then make a hole in the ground and put a boat inside of it, then move the boat into one of the corners. Then knock out blocks on the opposite side where we're going to pull in our dolphin and have it fall down into this hole. Once inside, remove the lead and push it into the boat, and now it will be riding a boat, which is an illegal mob since dolphins normally can't ride boats along with other aquatic mobs. But to prevent it from drying out, we need to place in a water source, but first we're going to place in some fences to hold it in place. Then we're going to knock out blocks over here, place in a trapdoor like this, and then place in a water source right here. So that when it starts dying from being dry, we can let water go in and moisten it once again. But we don't want to sit here and manually keep doing this because we'll have to do this forever in order to stop the dolphin from dying. So we can automate the process by using a little bit of redstone there and also repeaters on full delay here as well as here. And then the repeater is pointing that direction. It's going to go into a block here and power it, which is then going to turn off this torch. So it's going to open and close this trapdoor. This will re-moisten it, and this way it doesn't die. Now we can't keep water there all the time. Otherwise, since it's a mob inside of a boat, it will dismount since it thinks the boat's underneath the water. And it's best to build this machine inside of a single chunk, and that way you don't accidentally load the dolphin without loading the rest of it. And then do the same thing for a squid as well as glow squid, and now you just have 3 discontinued mobs that you won't be able to get in any version but 1.21.8. Now before I show you the next one, make sure you guys do back up your worlds every time you update. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video. Next up is another discontinued rare mob, but it's a snapshot only one. To get it, you first have to go into the snapshot 25W33A and wait until an iron golem gives a copper golem a poppy that will put on top of its head. And then you upgrade your world to 1.21.9 or above, and this will change the poppy so it's no longer on top of its head, but instead is placed behind it. And if you want, you can wait until the iron golems give him another poppy, which you will put on top with the glitched out poppy still on the back. And then just make sure to use some honeycomb on him so he doesn't freeze, and you get yourself a new impossible mob that's no longer obtainable. So besides unobtainable items, mobs, and blocks, there's also things that get harder in the next update, so you want to do these next things before updating. In the next Minecraft update, copper trapdoors are more expensive. So in 1.21.8, 12 copper ingots will get you 4 copper trapdoors. For any version afterwards, the same amount of copper will only get you a total of 3 copper trapdoors. So make sure to craft a whole bunch before updating. It will be more rare to find skeletons and zombies with certain types of armor on them. There's a small chance that mobs will spawn in with armor on them, and in the next update that includes getting the copper armor, but this means it's going to be rarer to find ones that are wearing leather, gold, chain, or iron. But it will not decrease the chance of finding a guy in diamond armor, as it's still around about a 0.5%. Which means you can actually make a copper farm from killing these guys because they have a chance at dropping their copper armor, which can be smelted in a furnace and will produce a copper nugget. And with 9 nuggets, you can get an ingot. Spawn chunks are getting removed after 1.21.8, which includes these 9 chunks which are always processing entities where you originally spawn when you join a world. It also contains some block processing chunks around those and mob cap processing chunks around those, with all the rest being unloaded outwards. This is super useful in running farms that can run automatically without the player. There's currently around 35 different farms that can do this, and I go over them all in this video here, which I'll have in the description. You can check it out after this one. So run all your farms before the next update, because then these chunks will just unload like any other chunks and nothing will get processed. But you don't need to tear down your farms, as you can actually load the chunks after the update. This can be done just by having a pearl bobbing in some water, and you can even have it completely encased. This will load a single chunk as entity processing, and then there's going to be a ring of block processing as well as mob processing. Or you can use another portal chunk loading trick that I showed almost 10 years ago. This will load an area exactly like your spawn chunks. You just need to build one of these in the center, and this is what it looks like on the opposite side. Nether portal chunk loaders like this will automatically load whenever the server restarts. You don't even have to worry about loading it initially. Where the ender pearl ones will only load if the owner of that pearl logs into the server or the world. You'll also want to be ready for all the new items and mobs that are coming in the next update, with the vast majority of them being copper related, which you can get tons of by mining a trial chamber. These structures are loaded and they're pretty common throughout the world. or get your copper from just AFKing, I designed this really simple drown farm that produces up to 1,000 copper per hour with the addition of drowned zombie reinforcements. And the block by block tutorial for this is almost done, so make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss it. You can also prepare in making all the new shelves coming out, which you can easily get from my simple tree farm that can do 13 different types of trees and mushrooms, making it easy to get all the different types. But there are some things that you should wait until the next update before doing. The first being wool sheep farms, because sheep will now replenish the wool 2 times faster. So if you haven't made this simple wool farm of mine, I'll link it down in the description, as it's a great time to do it. Also wait for the next update if you want to travel really far, because now things can actually move really fast into nether portals and still get teleported correctly. So you can easily launch yourself hundreds of thousands of blocks using a simple setup like this, and you can find the video for this down in the description. And if you're doing a lot of AFKing with the player holding down buttons to place or to break stuff, this also becomes easier next update, as in your controls you can now have it automatically hold down the use button, as well as automatically hold down the attack button. So by switching these to toggle, it will be like I'm holding down the button when I'm not, and if I left click, it will automatically break as well. So you can do something like this where you're constantly placing and breaking, which is an easy way to make a dirt farm, and I designed a couple handy contraptions which lets you AFK and farm dirt. And be sure to wait for the next Minecraft update if you have to deal with a whole bunch of waterloggable blocks, as well as putting water inside of it. Because in the past, when you would try to place water in this little air gap right here, it wouldn't matter which block you click up against, you just end up waterlogging it. It's now possible to hold crouch in order to place the water adjacent to the waterlogged block. So there's a slab here. If I hold crouch and if I right click the water bucket, it doesn't get placed into the waterlogged block, but instead gets placed above it. This is super nice and able to put in water locations which are full of something like slabs or stairs. If you have to work with a whole bunch of entities or particles, it's best to wait for the next update. Because in this update, they changed the rendering of entities so that they render better, as well as particles that don't create as much lag. If you're running a really massive farm like this kelp farm, it will still lower your frames for a second. And if you have to use the F3 menu, it's much easier next update, as you don't have to deal with all these things covering up your screen. Pressing F3 plus F6 pulls up this menu where you can turn them all off and only turn on the ones that you want. Like you can turn it on so that it just shows the light level and you don't have to have everything else on your screen. But you also have way more options so you can see how the world is running. Now share this with your favorite Minecrafter and consider becoming a supporter like all these lovely people which keep these videos free, which you can even do with no cost to you just by using your Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime to subscribe to my Twitch channel, which will pay me in full and it won't cost you anything extra. Otherwise, I'll see you in a future video. Bye bye!